we have two different ways to solve a linear system. The first way is to do substitution, and the second way is to do elimination. And you can pick the way you like. Sometimes we use a combination of it. For example, because we have two variables, two unknowns, we have to solve for both. So when I solve for y, I'm going to use elimination. When I solve for x, I'm going to use substitution. So you can actually combine these two different methods. So when we look at the equation, let's take a look at the numbers in front of x. We notice that they are equal. So if we have numbers that are equal in front of x, they're equal to each other, or one of them can go into the other, we can easily turn it into opposite of each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the first equation and multiply both sides by -1. And -1 times 5 is -5x. And negative times -1 is +1. +1 times 3 is 3y, because two negatives will make positive. On the right-hand side, -1 times 10, that gives us -10. So this equation we obtained from multiplying the first equation by -1. So we got a -5 in front of x. And now we're going to take this new equation together with the original second equation. So we just move this equation down, and this is a new equation we got. And notice the numbers in front of them, they're opposite of each other, -5 and +5. So that gives us the idea if we add both sides, -5x plus 5x cancel each other. 3y plus 7y gives us 10y, and the -10 plus -2 gives us -12. So now x is gone, so we can easily solve for y by dividing both sides by 10. So that gives us y equals -12 over 10. And notice negative divided by positive is negative, so I'm going to put a minus in front of the whole fraction. And if the answer is a fraction, make sure it's reduced. So we divide 12 by 2 and 10 by 2 to get -6/5. So here the method I use is called the elimination, because we eliminated x, both x's. And we could also, we have the answer for y equals -6/5, but we also have to solve for the other variable x. But of course you could eliminate y, and in order to eliminate y, you have to turn -3 and 7 into opposites of each other, which is taking a little bit more time, because you have to multiply the first one by 7 and the second one by 3. And after you do that, notice that -3 times 7 is -21, and a +7 times 3 is +21. Now they are opposite of each other. You can add the two equations to cancel y. But this seems to take a little bit long time, and I'm going to use substitution. So the substitution will be just plug, since we already know what a y is, so y is equal to -6/5. I can just plug this into one of these two equations. It doesn't matter which one. So I'm going to take the first equation and plug a -6/5 in there. And now negative times negative is positive. So I got 5x plus 18/5. And here I multiply the fractions. -3 times -6 is +18. And actually you could get the signs taken care of first. And negative times negative is positive. And 3 times 6 is 18. 1 times 5 is 5, multiplying straight across. So now in order to get x by itself, I have to subtract 18/5 from both sides. So they cancel. So I got, I'm going to get rid of this. And the right hand side, how did I get 32/5? I have to put 1 underneath and then equal the denominator. So I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by 5. So that gives us 50/5 minus 18/5. So we keep the denominator 5 and then subtract the numerators. 50 minus 18. That's how I got 32 here. Okay, so the right hand side, it did take a little bit of time. The other way to do it is you can get rid of the denominator by multiplying the LCD. and times 5 times 5 times 5. Since there's only one fraction, maybe it's not too bad. So I got this. And then I am going to get rid of that 5. So in order to get rid of 5, I can either divide both sides by 5 or multiplying both sides by 1/5. So what I am going to do is I am going to multiply both sides by 1/5, multiply the reciprocal, because that's a little quicker. Because if you divide by 5, you still have to, if you say divide both sides by 5, you still have to turn division into multiplication by doing keep change flip. So it would be quicker if you just go ahead and multiply 1/5 both sides. Now 1/5 times 5, they cancel, so I just get an x. And right here, 32 times 1 gives me 32. The bottom 5 times 5 is 25. And that's the answer. Because they don't really have, the top and the bottom don't have any common factors, so we can stop. So we got it. Answers for both variables.